Hi guys, welcome to Algebra 1, Lesson 52. We're talking about percents that are greater than 100 today. So we've learned about percents that are less than 100, and we've made those diagrams to kind of illustrate how they go. We're going to do the same thing with percents that are greater than 100. The only thing that is tricky about these is making sure that your percent that you're multiplying with is correct. If you don't have the correct percent, it's going to throw your whole problem off. So you just have to make sure that you're very careful with that. We still use the same formula, which would be P over 100 times of equals is. Now remember, this P over 100 just means that you have to remember to divide your percent by 100 before you can work with it. So you just move your decimal point over 2 places. Change it into a decimal by moving the decimal point over 2 places, and you're good to go. All right, so let's look at the first example. It says, what number is 160% of 60? Find the number and then draw diagrams that depict the problem. Okay, so we're looking for the number that's 160% of 60. Now I'm going to go in a backwards order because I want you to see the diagram first. So this, remember, is our before number, the number that we start with. And it is always 100%. It's your whole number, so it's 100%. Well, if your second percent that you're looking for is greater than 100, we're going to draw this kind of bubble, okay? So instead of the bubble that we had in the last ones where it was split because your percent was smaller than 100, so for example, maybe you had 40% and 60% because you divided your 100% into 2 groups. This time you have something that's bigger than 100%, so you have to have like a double bubble, okay? Because it's bigger, it's more than your 100%. So in this problem, it says what number is 160%? So I'm looking for the number that is 160%. So it's 60% greater than 100. And that is of, let's see, 60. So my original number is 60. Okay, so I put this into my equation. Now I don't need to write 160 over 100 if I just remember I need to divide this by 100, meaning I need to move my decimal point over 2 places. So I can make it nice and simple. 1.6 times 60 equals n, the number I'm looking for. Now I multiplied 1.6 times 60, and that gives me 96. And I put that 96 here. Now this is a mental check. Does it make sense that this second number in this particular problem is bigger than my original number? Yes, because it's greater than 100%, meaning it is going to be greater than my original number. If the answer you get for this bubble is smaller than your original answer, then you know there's a problem, because this has to be bigger than 100%. Okay, let's try another problem, okay? If 75 is increased by 150%, what is the result? All right, so 75 is increased by 150%. 75 is my original number. I say that 75 is increased, it's made greater by 150. So in here, my percent is not 150. My percent is plus 150% to my original 100% because it's 150% more. So you have to pay very careful attention to when it's worded that way. So really, I'm looking for the number that is 250% of 70 because I added 150% to my original number. So divide 250 by 100, and that gives me, and that gives me 2.5, sorry, I got distracted by something, times my original number, 75, equals the number I'm looking for. So now I multiply 2.5 times 75. That's going to give me 187.5 equals n. So do just a little mental check. Is this bigger than that? Yes, it is. So I know I at least am on the right track. Okay? Is it making sense? Are you understanding how we do things? It's really, really simple. Especially, honestly, if you start with the diagram and you can visualize it that way. All right, let's try another problem. Another example. I think this is the last one before your practice. What percent of 90 is 306? Okay, so let's fill in what we know. What percent of 90 is 306? So I know that I'm looking for the percent. And I know that my original number is 90. So it's 306 is what percent of 90? So I'm going to plug this in. I know that I have P over 100. Here I do need that over 100, so I know that I need so I get the right percent. There we go. So P over 100 times 90 equals 306. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do to work this problem is I'm going to look at it like this. I'm multiplying by 90 at the same time that I'm dividing by 100. So I could really combine this to be 90p over 100. So to get my percent by itself, I just flip it and multiply 100 over 90. And then I do the same thing over here and multiply this by 100 over 90. Over on this side, my 100 cancels, my 90 cancels, and I'm just left with percent. Then over here, excuse me, sorry about that. All right, let's see. I think 9 can definitely go into 90 is 10, 9 into 306. Bear with me. 3, 27, 34, okay? I can cancel this just a little bit more. Trying to decide the best way I want to cancel it. Sorry, guys. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 34 divided by 2 is, wow, brain freeze, 17. Okay, so that gives me 17 times 100 is 1,700 over 5, which can be reduced to, 5 goes into 1,700. Let's see, 340 times. So my percent is 340%. So my percent is greater than 100 for my bubble, so I know that I did that correctly. All right, how are you guys feeling? This one was probably the most complicated that we've looked at, only because we were looking for the percent, and you have to remember to have that divided by 100 so that your number correctly changes from the decimal to the percent, because you have to multiply by 100 to make it into a percent from a decimal. All right, look at your practice on page 192. I want you to draw the bubble draw this diagram thing before you do your problem, because I think it will help you to visualize it better, then do the work underneath. Okay, excuse me, wow, I have to sneeze. All right, letter A should be, if 20 is increased by 90%, what is the result? Well, you should realize, first of all, that your new percent is going to be 190%, because it's 100% plus 90%. So 38 is 190% of 20. Then letter B, what number is 270% of 80? Now this time you don't have to add 270 to 100, because it already tells you that that's your new percent. It doesn't tell you you're increasing by that much. That is your new percent. So 270% of 80 is 216. Okay, let me know if you have any questions about this concept. Go ahead and do problem set 52 for your homework. Bye.